is Bob Barker, and you're listening to Animal House Radio with Aaron and Dr. Mike.
I think that dogs don't seem to look forward. They never look back. They just convey that unconditional love at all times, and they just want to eat and play. And I think it's important for all of us. It's not a complicated idea. It's an old idea, but I think it's always important to be reminded of, as often as we can, how important it is to appreciate what we have.
What's your advice to someone who's looking to adopt a pet?
I think having a dog is the same level of commitment as having a child. Yeah. And I think I think John Grogan learns that really quickly in the movie. I certainly learned that with our first dog. They all need attention, and they all need education. If you can't give them the time and you can't let them, you can't make room for them in your lives, you're making a mistake to get a dog.
What is that one feeling you want people to have after they see your film?
A very simple idea. I want people to turn to their loved ones and embrace them. I think this is a movie about love, and especially love for your family. Appreciating that the time we have with the people we love is short.
Congratulations once again on Marley and Me. It looks like a fantastic film, and I'm sure everybody in Canada is going to be running out of the box to see it. Congratulations with this once again from everybody at the show.
Thanks, Aaron. Thank you.
Little section right now called Believe It or Not, brought to you by our good friends at Toronto Animal Services. Why do you laugh at me? Stop. I pause on purpose.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's pausing on purpose.
Okay.
Our good friends at Toronto Animal Services, www.toronto.ca/epet or 416-338-PETS. That's 416-338-7387. Get your
One
dog
day
or animal
say
registered.
Brought to you by me. I just picture you saying that.
Why not? I can afford it. Okay. Believe it or not, butterflies' taste sensors are in their feet. They taste their food by standing on it.
I knew that.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
You're such a liar. You totally did not. The flying frog uses flaps of skin between its toes to glide.
Didn't know that, but I'd love to hear you say that 10 times fast.
The flying... No, something bad's going to come out of my mouth. And last but not least, believe it or not, the kangaroo's ancestors lived in trees. Today, there are 8 different kinds of tree kangaroos. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
And that's why people in Australia don't tip. Because there was an issue with trees and kangaroos and tipping.
Okay.
It's a known fact. People in Australia don't tip when they come to North America. You ever been in
that has to do with the flying kangaroos?
I think it may have something to do with the evolution of that.
Okay.
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming a very special guest to the program, someone who's a brand new sponsor on the show. Well, not herself, but her... See, she's laughing already. Now, it's so hard to pronounce her name. Now, the only way you can pronounce her name is if you scream it out, Nicola! Welcome to Animal House Radio. How are you?
That's a wonderful welcome. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Not too bad, thank you. Now, you're obviously calling from the Toronto Animal Services and the great things that you do in Toronto Animal Services. A lot of people don't know what Toronto Animal Services is all about. They just think it's part of the city of Toronto. We want a little bit of an explanation. Okay, Nicola?
We can do this. We can do this. And actually, I'm going to take you a step back. A lot of people don't even know we're a City of Toronto service. A lot of people think we're a private organization, which we're not. Tax dollars go to support our organization. In addition to that, we do take donations from people because it helps with all those additional things we like to get for the animals, the creature comforts, the toys, all that kind of stuff. But we are paid for in the municipal tax base. Mm-hmm. Basic thing with us is we are trying to promote a harmonious relationship with people and pets so that everyone lives free from adversity. That's a bit of a formal statement, but that's our directive. And in doing so, we've got kind of a 3-tiered approach. We've got shelter services, field services, and education services. Do you want a little bit of background on those?
Let's hear it. Give it to me.
All right, I'll give it to you. So for shelter services, we do things like adopting pets to new homes. We do lost and found. We also intake animals, whether that be a stray animal or an owner surrender. Maybe people's circumstances have changed. They can no longer look after their pet. We will take in those pets and try to rehome them. Or actually, we will rehome them. Field services, we investigate all kinds of animal-related dilemmas, whether it's a noise complaint or whether someone's pet's been bitten. Give us a call. Officers will respond. We will look after it. We also do stray animals, sick and injured wildlife and domestics, And we also, a lot of people don't know, have a 24-hour emergency on-call service anywhere throughout Toronto.
Wow.
So you see an animal hit by a car, you give us a call, we'll have an officer there within 40 minutes, provide emergency care, and there you go.
And what's that
Thirdly,
number?
and not least importantly, education. We have education officers that go to public events, go to schools, teach kids about bite prevention. And that's not kids biting other kids, that's animals biting kids.
I was going to assume you're teaching kids not to bite kids. That's good for you.
Well, kids do
You're
bite
branching
other kids.
out of the animal thing. That's great.
We do. We like to just get bigger and better all the time.
I always say some kids are animals anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I do tell little bad children that I have kennels big enough for them.
Oh.
And but no, I'm just kidding. And education is also part of adoption counseling. When people are not sure about getting an animal, what they want, what's going to fit best for their lifestyle, our staff are really well educated and well informed, and we can match your life, your circumstances with an animal that's going to complement that perfectly. So that's pretty much us in a nutshell. If it's animal related, give us a shout.
Now, tell me about the promotions that your guys are having right now with Toronto Animal Services in terms of adopting cats. Like, I know you and I chatted for about 7 hours before, and we wouldn't stop talking. And you told me about some of these great initiatives that Toronto Animal Services is doing right now, and to get the incentive out there, because there are a lot of animals right now that are in shelters, and they have nowhere to go. And right now, at the time of year what we're in, it's cold outside. People don't know what they want to do. Maybe some people are just going to be getting animals to give away for Christmas, and then people, I don't know if it's good for me, I'm allergic, and they give it back, and a lot of strays. Tell me about some of the promotions that are going on.
Well, you know what? It's a bit of a misnomer to say they've got nowhere to go. There are lots of homes out there that I know are looking for pets, not sure where to go to. Again, give us a call. We, you mentioned there's a lot of animals in shelters right now. I took a look at our database today, and conservative estimate in our 4 facilities throughout Toronto, we have about 475 animals. So that's everything from cats, dogs, guinea pigs, rabbits, hamsters, whatever it may be. So
what are the percentages? Is it a large percentage of them are cats, or?
Yeah, the majority are going to be cats.
Okay.
And you know what? There's a lot of overlap here with why and how that comes to be. But a lot of it has to do with just identifying your pet.
Right.
So most dogs will have some form of ID. Ideally, they should have the tag that's required by the bylaw. And I think Mary Ann Cero talked about that last week, our licensing strategy.
Exactly. And it's a law. You have to have that on the animal. It is a law. It's not a luxury. It's not a choice. It is a law. And a lot of people out there who've always felt that it's a cash grab. And I stress to everybody, it's not a cash grab. You guys don't get enough money. All the money that comes in from that initiative goes directly to you. And you know what? I'd be happy to go register 100 dogs.
Exactly. I register things at random just to give money back.
That's great.
No, I don't. I'm just being silly. But no, you're absolutely right. The revenue comes back to us. It's the only revenue that we get back specifically for the animals and operating our facilities and doing what we're able to do. So, dogs have ID, telephone number, license, whatever the case may be, little tag with name and number and whatnot. They get home. Most of these guys get home. Cats don't. And the other issue there, of course, is overpopulation. We've got cats just everywhere. So then we talk about, part of our education, which is responsible pet ownership. Have your pets sterilized. We operate a spay-neuter clinic. That's something we can talk about another week. But
we will. We had a cat owner the other day as a 2-year-old unneutered male cat that goes outside, and you stand there, and, I'm sure you know how I feel, just like probably you would feel being in my shoes. You kind of feel like you're banging your head against the wall.
He's got very bad shoes.
And he's out there doing what boys like to do, what boy cats like to do, and he's just propagating the species, and it's really tough because ultimately a lot of those cats come to us. Yeah. And you know what? Some of those guys that are outside, living on the streets without their vaccinations and so on, they don't do well. They get sick, they carry disease, and we see some pretty sad circumstances. So, for all pet owners out there, if you haven't sterilized your pet, make it a priority. Make licensing a priority. It's going to help all across the board. Without
a doubt. Now, one question I have to ask you, do you have any criteria in adopting, say, a cat? For instance, do you impose something with issues to declawing or anything like that? Or is your main goal to find someone a good home, to find the cat a good home?
Yeah, we do have a screening. We do have a screening process, or what you would call, an application. So